The shit Canadians have to do to keep their beer from freezing. My dad told me drinking frozen beer can cause the shits, so you don't want that to happen. Gotta remember to move that before I open the door. I picked up a Dana 60 out of a 90s F350, set up for leaf springs, high pinion, disc brakes. This is going in the 73 F250. Here's the Cummins that's going in it. I built a stand here, real redneck one. Some little wheels there, pallet. I braced her up good. It's fine. It'll be fine. I tried starting it, but that battery doesn't have enough gumption. Doesn't have enough oomph in it. I tried hooking up the second battery with a set of booster cables, but that one didn't either. I have a Mercury here, so that's on the charger now. Just ran the old fuel line there, some diesel, and gave her a prime, and she turned over. It's not fast enough to start. I got a few things to do. I actually forgot about this. There's a hole. Well, you can't see it. It's actually an oil pressure line that broke, so it's a good thing it didn't start. Actually, would have lost all my oil. Out the side. There's the transmission, Eaton Fuller 5-speed. I worked out the first gear ratio on this thing, and it's 8-to-1, which is crazy low. It's lower than the first gear that Ford has right now. For a big shifter. I gotta have that rebuilt. Turbo. This is gonna be fun to put in. Figure out all the steering geometry. Oh, dark. Old chopper bike I built years ago. Still works. Broke a tie rod end on this the other day. I was riding that around. There's another video about that. Fine engine for this Olympic. This tractor runs. This little kid's quad doesn't run. Another chopper tricycle I built. I put some 37 by 14.5 Super Swampers on Old Red. Low light here, can't see, but I was driving all over the yard with it today. No problem. Driving down the ditch. Never even got stuck. Had to back up a few times, but never actually got stuck. Love this old truck. This is what's getting that Dana 60 in the front. Right now it has a Dana 44 closed knuckle with drum brakes. So it's going to get that Dana 60 with disc brakes. Both are 410 gears. That works good in this truck, 410s. And right now it has the 300 inline 6, but it's going to get that 5.9 12 valve Cummins. It's going to be awesome. Okay, we're going to give this a shot. Fire it up. It's on this sketchy stand. I feel good about it though. I tried cranking it over yesterday, but it would barely crank. And that was because I had these crappy old wires and bad connections and bad grounds. And I even rigged up 2 batteries with jumper cables, and then still wasn't doing it. So I went out and bought these fancy new cables. Fancy. Hopefully I can still use them when it's actually in the truck. That red one's kind of short, but that red one alone was like 30 bucks. Like, holy goddamn. It's made of gold. Copper, I guess, expensive. Anyways, crank's over good now. Or so I think. She's got oil. I got the lines running into a tank there. Feed and return. I primed it with a little plunger. Hopefully good enough. I don't want to use any starting fluid or anything, because I really don't know what condition this motor's in internally, and I don't want to blow it up the first day. I better get this junk off. I got this piece of wood on standby to kind of throw on the intake in case it runs away, but I also got the fuel shutoff solenoid here wired up, and I'll show you how that works. You hook the ignition up to the red wire, black is ground, so you turn the key on, power goes to the red, but white actually goes to your starting solenoid. So that's it's called the suck-in mode. So when you go to crank it, it sends power to the white wire, and it also sends power to the starter. But it sucks the fuel solenoid to the on position, and then this positive just keeps it there. But you don't want to run power to this white wire constantly because you'll burn this sucker out. So that's just to suck it in, and then it stays there. And then when you want to shut the motor off, you disconnect power from the red, and it goes back down, shuts the motor off. And that's basically all there is to running a 12-valve Cummins, the old mechanical ones with the P-pump. You can convert that to a manual shut-off valve and have a cable like inside the truck on the dash or something. I don't know which way I'm going to go yet. Depends how good that works for me. The manual, there's ups and downs to both. I mean, the electrical might fail if you don't wire it right, but the manual could seize up as well, get ice in it, stuff like that. Maybe the cable breaks. Strange fact, this oil cap actually came off the valve cover of a 351 Windsor, and apparently it fits. Kind of. So yeah, I don't know if you're looking for an oil cap. Ford just used generic ones. I say Ford because this is actually came out of a Ford school bus. So this Cummins was covered in Ford parts, like the intake boots and all that said Ford. I think even the motor mount said Ford. All the bolt-on pieces said Ford. It's kind of neat. It's got no grid heater, no glow plugs, of course. Turbo's not hooked up. Basically, it just has oil, and it's got diesel. I'm going to crank it over, see what happens. So, yeah, hopefully it's not too exciting. Okay, kind of scared. Okay, I just jumped this wire to positive, that turns it over. So, loosely twist these together, because when I want to kill the motor, I'm just going to grab this and pull. Gotta have this closer. So this is the suck-in I was talking about. Now it's open. Now we're going to crank it. We'll crank in, contact. Worked like a charm.